IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with intoxication. Did you know that not just humans, but many animals actively seek out intoxicating substances? Animals like elephants, monkeys, dogs, cats, and even butterflies will go out and find foods that will get them high. Of course, in nature, you don't find triple distilled Irish whiskey or a bottle of tequila just lying around. So these animals go and find fruits that have fallen to the ground and have begun to ferment. Fermentation is the process where bacteria eats up sugars and the byproduct is alcohol. These are the kinds of fruits that animals and birds eat to get drunk. So search online and you'll see drunk parrots and other animals all over. Reindeer will go and find hallucinogenic mushrooms. These red mushrooms are trippy and dangerous to consume, yet they look for them and have it. I think this puts a new twist to Santa's flying reindeers. Anyway, elephants get high off the marula tree. It was believed that they ate the fermented fruits from the tree, but new studies show there could be another intoxicant present in the tree. However, observing these elephants, we as humans use the fruits to make a liquor called amarula, which is absolutely divine. As humans, we've longed for intoxicating substances as well. The need to get high might be hardwired into us as animals. When we study the growth of human societies and cities, there is always the presence of some intoxicant around. Most ancient cultures have alcohol brewed in ingenious ways, or marijuana that has grown along with humans. And what's fascinating is that marijuana has evolved with us. So the kind of weed found around the temples was different from the kind that was found around the homes. These plants and mankind grew up together. The fact that they are illegal now is not up for debate. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, who knows? The fact is that as humans, we have unfortunately taken things too far. Our belief is that if a little is good, then more must be better, which is completely wrong. Because in the process, we've lost our respect for nature. The coca leaf is what was used to make cocaine. However, before we learned to make cocaine, the leaf was used by the locals to combat altitude sickness. In Peru, that's what they used to do. They would chew the leaf or make a tea out of it. There was a respect for the plant, and hence it could be used. Eating too much of the plant would get you sick, and hence there was balance. Most social situations involve a drink. A drink was meant to be celebratory in nature, where the community got together and had a drink. However, now we have a drink at the drop of a hat. And as your habit coach, I want you to get into the habit of having fun, yet not fall into the trap of addiction. And remember, addiction is not just about intoxicants like alcohol and drugs. Addiction can come in all shapes and sizes. Like I was addicted to sugar. People can be addicted to tea, coffee, sex addiction, porn addiction, news addiction, TV addiction, and the list is endless. 4 years ago, I learned a very simple and interesting test from a Vedanta scholar about addiction. This is how he explained it to me. There is a desire for something. When you get it, you experience pleasure, and this is normal. However, with each subsequent consumption, the pleasure received reduces. And there comes a point where the desire is still very high, but the pleasure is negative. That means that you feel bad about consuming it. But because you have the desire, you still continue consuming it. Let's take mangoes. You've been waiting for the mango season for the last 9 months. As soon as you see the first mango, you eat it and are blissed out. Extreme pleasure. You have a second one immediately. However, you notice that the second one was not necessarily as pleasurable as the first. After the 35th mango, all the pleasure is gone and now you're feeling guilty for being greedy. But you still won't stop. That is addiction. So a rule of thumb is that if you feel bad about getting something you intensely desired, you're probably addicted to it. So the first step is to be aware of this. Being aware that you might have an addiction, like I used to after my 4th bar of chocolate. The next step is critical to bring about a change. You see, very often addictions are like a crutch. They're holding you up or helping you through something. Our job is to identify what the addiction is trying to help you with. Are you drinking because you're unhappy at work? Are you binge eating because you have low self-esteem? Are you watching porn to escape the feeling of loneliness or boredom? It's very important to address these base issues before you can even think of giving up your addiction. Because honestly, the addiction is helping you cope. Again, as your habit coach, I want you to be strong and independent. Not rely on any of these addictions. I want you to be able to deal with life through intention and not through escape. So your not so simple habit to dealing with addiction comes in 3 steps. Step 1, catch your addiction. What is it that you want very badly, but when you get it, you feel bad or guilty? Is it food or desserts or alcohol? Step 2, introspect. What is the addiction a crutch for? What is the thing you are not dealing with? What do you need to escape from? Step 3, do everything in your ability to deal with what is bothering you. Give yourself a purpose, a fight worth fighting. And you will notice that when you finish all 3 steps, the addiction fades away. There is no need to go cold turkey and punish yourself from the beginning. There are emotions that need to be dealt with before anything else. Addiction can come from substances that are addictive, and yes, those need to be removed cold turkey, but that's a podcast for another time. Addiction can also come in the form of DNA types. But like I said, never use DNA as an excuse for anything, because then it becomes an easy way out of things. I want you to know that you are in charge of your addictions. Once in a while, being intoxicated like animals is fine, but not when it becomes an addiction. Be free. Be strong. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the New podcast series presented by Accenture. I'm your host, Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.